It's J. Michael Harris' son hanging out with you on a Friday evening with another edition of The Bridge. This happens to be your bridge between bebop and hip hop, an eclectic mix of funk, jazz, poetry, acid jazz, a little bit of this, maybe even a little bit of that. We do this and that every Friday night from 10 p.m. until 2 a.m. Saturday morning. So at 11:32 and 5 seconds, we're not even at the halfway point. As I've mentioned a few times this evening, we're going to bring you a conversation with Karen Smith and Gretchen Elise. I was fortunate enough to catch up with them this week. And they're giving us some wonderful insight about a couple of opportunities for you to catch some live stream activity. So without any further ado, I'm going to bring you part one of that conversation, and we'll continue to move forward. Great to have you on board. Truly a pleasure, honor, and privilege to be here with you. Well, we're very fortunate once again to catch up to a couple of women who have been very consistent on the scene here in Philadelphia, and their contributions are vast, and it takes more than a pandemic to stop them from being creative. And they are finding a way to bring art to the people. They have a wonderful event coming up on October the 3rd. It is live music in a virtual space, the Gretchen Elise Band, and we'd like to welcome back to WRTI Gretchen Elise and the robot woman herself, Karen Smith. Great to have both of you guys join me.
You are welcome. I'm going to figure out how to do the robot on Saturday just for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to squeeze it in. Squeeze it in.
Gretchen,
Thanks
great
so
to have
much,
you.
Michael.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure.
Great to be here.
So, as I said, you guys are finding a way, as many other artists, are finding a way to function amidst all the challenges that 2020 has brought us. You are still finding a way to produce events, and not only in this case produce an opportunity for folks to enjoy music, but Gretchen, you also have turned it into a bit of a fundraiser. So can you maybe give us a little perspective on what's taking place with this event?
Yes. Well, to be honest, Karen's the one that can really give the background about the Jazz Bridge connection. Believe it or not, even though I do seem to have a propensity to multi-layer events. I was really fortunate to be approached by Karen to be the performing band, the featured band, after her intro. And I'm excited to have a live performance because, honestly, this is the first band performance I will have had since the pandemic began. And it has just been a beautiful, even just rehearsing with people in a socially distanced way has just been just so heartwarming and just enriching. Yeah, I have actually two new tunes that I can tell you about, right now, a little later in the interview as it pleases you.
Okay. So we'll come back to that. And also, I guess I should ask as well, just navigating this terrain for you, Gretchen, as an artist, and for artists having the opportunity of maybe a bit of time to yourself, and by that I mean not performing, not pursuing your craft on stage, but maybe time to work on your craft at home is not out of the ordinary for artists, but this has been a heavy for folks in general, just having to deal with all of this. So navigating this terrain, Gretchen, if you can maybe give me a little perspective on what life has been like day to day for you throughout this.
Wow. Let me see if I can even wrap that together in some kind of succinct shape for you. It's so fluid and so much of an adaptation. I think all the artists that I've been speaking with talk about adapting, just morphing, shape-shifting, and adapting. I guess I've been spending a lot of time, shout out to all the parents who are multitasking their children's digital schooling with the work they may be juggling, the artistry, and the creative work they may be juggling. I spent the first month trying to really help my nonprofit, which is a arts-focused preschool, nursery school, after-school program, really survive the pandemic. And we managed to do that, but in fact, I was actually laid off at the end of June. So that offered me kind of, again, an opportunity to adapt. I had taken a lot of time during the lockdown to do a doorway dance party for essential workers, together with a group of journalists, radio folks, and people who had come together to do the Guinness Book of World Records Soul Train line in the Philadelphia Museum of Art several years ago. And that, to me, was a great community building experience. I ended up booking DJs to do short sets, which we broadcast every week from my front door when the radio station's tired of airing at 6:30 the Rocky Tune and Ain't No Stopping Us Now. We were trying to start the kind of New York-style pots and pans celebration of essential workers. And it reminded me how much I need to dance and love to dance. And just reminded me how much great talent there is curating music, such as yourself, Jay Michael, such as all the DJs that work professionally in Philadelphia. And that was what fueled me creatively during this lockdown where I wasn't performing. I felt more drawn to that than to do solo concerts from my living room. And it just kind of filled me up and musically inspired me in different ways. And I would say I did spend more time writing music. I've come out with some new material. I spent time finishing up a release of a tune that's based on a love of Wawa that's going to be coming out on the 10th of October. So there's been times for some artists who have had the opportunity and enough support, for the basics, which is not a given right now. I'm fortunate to have had that support and a partner who's working right now to tie up loose ends, to finish things that were started, and to kind of reorient a project that may have looked different in March or May or June, but now it's got a different flavor, and it's worth sharing with the world.
No, that's beautiful. I'm going to ask you to take a second because you mentioned something that folks that live in the Philadelphia area are folks who may have spent time in the Philadelphia area, have some familiarity with, but there's folks that may be listening in Korea or Germany or even, southern Delaware or maybe Maryland or, of course, the Midwest. When you say Wawa, you're not talking about a pedal.
So, or water by a baby, yeah.
So you may have to give a little perspective on Wawa to some of the folks out there.
It's a really good point. But I was just speaking to Maury Cole, who's an engineer with a studio on South Street, and he was reminding me, okay, you might have written this tune about Wawa, which is a local convenience store that all people in Philly love. You might have written this tune and tried to pitch it to Wawa to use as a commercial, but people in Nebraska don't know what Wawa is. People in France that are excited about this tune don't know. They just think you're yelling, yeah, woo. Lest we limit, the things that we create, which may have had one intent in our brain, they may just have great reception and find great enthusiasm in the wider world with a different meaning.
For sure.
So, so I don't want to divert too much from the focus on the October 3rd event to be kind of revealing too much about my October 10th event. But if you see this all as one connected enterprise, I'm happy to share a couple details when it's convenient.
Yeah, well, sure. We'll come back to that. But again, Wawa definitely goes out strong and emanates from WRTI to folks in the community and Philadelphia and surrounding area. But as you said, a Cornhusker in Nebraska. Man, why? What? So
Yeah, right.
that's cool stuff. If you just joined in, we are chatting with Karen Smith and Gretchen Elise. We're going to continue that conversation in just a bit. We are holding on to that 56 degrees here on the main campus of Temple University. And we'll continue our conversation right after this.
You're listening to WRTI 90.1, a broadcast service of Temple University, based in Philadelphia, with campuses worldwide, including Rome, Italy, Tokyo, and Japan.
Can I get a quick Wawa story, because I'm from New York, and
okay.
so when I first came here,
hit them with the Wawa. Hit them with the Wawa.
I was like, and Wawa to me is baby talk for water. So I'm like, why is everybody talking this baby talk for water? Where's the store for babies? I thought it was something that had to do with babies. Wawa. I'm like, is that a nursery or something?
Yeah,
I didn't know what Wawa was.
Going to Wawa and get a hoagie.
I tell you, Wawa. I was like, Wawa.
So babies making hoagies, or what's going on?
I didn't understand.
Well, hey, and I, the first time I went down Baltimore Pike and saw Wawa, PA, and Wawa University, and it's
wow.
like, okay, we are Wawa crazy.
Yeah, that's a Wawa crazy. Okay.
So, Karen, you being the organizer of this event, putting this event together, maybe you can give me a little genesis, a little perspective on this project.
Oh, sure. First of all, it's a fundraiser for Jazz Bridge. I love Jazz Bridge and all the things that they have done to support musicians during this time, as well as way before this time has happened. And I always wanted to do something for them, because they did something for me. They paid some bills for me. They paid my dental bill. They've kept my car running. So I said, this to me right now is about giving back. And
well, I want to pause there for a second.
Yes.
If you don't mind,
sure.
Because you mentioned the importance of an organization like that, and it could kind of float past some of the listeners out there. And
okay.
Over the years, I can go back many years ago. With Suzanne Cloud and Wendy and
mm-hmm.
the early days of Jazz Bridge, and whenever a musician told me a story that was presenting significant challenges to them, I suggested that they check out the Jazz Bridge and see if they may be able to provide some assistance. So it's important that you bring that to the listeners.
Yeah, it's definitely. Jazz Bridge does concerts throughout the year, and what they use the money for is to help jazz musicians. I think it started with, was it Eddie Green, if I'm not mistaken,
mm-hmm.
medical bills, or burial was for Mickey Rourke. It was just a number of people that were, working musicians but did not have a savings, and so they helped them out, and then they started this whole thing called Jazz Bridge. And over the years, they've been still doing the same thing, helping musicians through some tough times. Because we usually don't have insurance, or we usually don't have a savings. People don't usually pay us enough. They love the music, and Jazz has been one of those organizations that's been really supportive of us, and especially even during this COVID time. I can say the same thing. So.
Yeah, no,
this is my giving back to Jazz Bridge, is to put this fundraiser together. My church was looking to do a fundraiser for musicians like myself, and I said, well, we need to include Jazz Bridge on this, because they have done more than their share. I find them to be, really a musician's guardian angel. So we put a committee together, and I asked Gretchen, who I'm friends with, and I love what she does, and He was like, yeah, because, during this time, there hasn't been too many places to perform or, many opportunities to perform. So she was very excited about doing it. And then I asked another friend, Tamara Anderson. I said, well, maybe we can open up and then they can take it from there. And it's going to be a really good full 90 minutes plus virtually. You can see it from all over the world.
So
Saturday from
folks,
3 and 5.
So folks that actually want to see it, how will they pursue that? Where can they watch it? And again, give the time and what have you.
Yeah, this Saturday, October 3rd, between 3 and 5, it'll be on Unitarian Universalist Church of Restoration's page on Facebook. It'll also be on Gretchen Elise's page. It'll be on my page, Karen Smith. It'll also be on Jazzbridge's page, so you can have watch parties. Tamara Anderson will be also hosting it on her page as well, so it won't be hard to find on Facebook.
There's multiple
we'll
opportunities.
Multiple opportunities. There'll also be some interviews from the organization folks as well as from actual musicians. I won't say who they are right now, who I'm going to share their testimony on how Jazzbridge has helped them.
That's beautiful.
So it's going to be fun. We're going to have fun. This is the first time we've ever done anything like this, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. We'll be all together as far as the musicians, but everyone else will be watching online.
And without giving any prices or what have you, is there a cost involved with viewing it? Are you accepting donations? How's that working?
There's no cost to really view it, but throughout we'll be having like a marathon, telethon, if you want to call it, Zoomathon, where you can have a way of we'll give the link where you can donate. We'll also have a cash app for you to donate. We'll also have address if you want to send a check, if you don't do any of those things, So there'll be different ways on how to do that. And there is no technically a limit to what you can donate, but there's always a suggestion, but there's no limit to what you can donate.
So if I hit the Powerball between now and that activity,
send it all.
You're willing?
You can just write it off, man.
Well, let me keep a little. Let me keep a little bit of it, but
you can have $1 or two. Go to Wawa and give another scratch.
But it would be okay to drop a couple of million in the pot, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
All right. I'm making a note of that. If you just joined in, we're fortunate to have Gretchen Elise and Karen Smith with us, and they're giving us a little perspective on an event coming up that you should take note of, again, because proceeds from this event are going to a really important organization, the Jazzbridge. So again, they have a wonderful virtual performance, or series of performances going on October 3rd. And it's 3 to 5 that afternoon, correct?
Yep, 3 and 5.
Okay.
Yes.
Gretchen, you had something you wanted to add?
Yes, sorry, I didn't mean to jump the mic to give the exact link.
Oh, but by all means, this is important news.
Exactly. And it's all about, like you said, it's all about the fundraisers, making the money. If you remember, UU Restoration, because it's Unitarian Universalist Church. So on Facebook.com, just look for UU Restoration. That's where you can see the live stream. And as Karen said, it will be also on her page. It will be on my page, Gretchen Elise. It will be on Jazzbridge Facebook page. But the one concrete one, UU Restoration. And if you did just win the Powerball and you want to give a donation for the actual live stream, you can go to uurestoration.us.
Okay.
There's a donate button.
So if I win tomorrow, then I can hit you up early with that.
Yes.
Okay.
Or you can use Cash App, which is the $ Karen Smith Jerome as well. So you use that Powerball. Don't hesitate to
So I can hit you directly, is what you're saying.
I'll make sure everything goes.
All right. Duly noted, Karen. All right. No, this is great stuff. Again, and I applaud, the efforts, again, amidst what are extraordinary, unprecedented, challenging times. Folks are finding a way, and in this situation, not only to perform, but to also provide a fundraising component for an essential organization in the Jazz Bridge. So this is wonderful. For the two of
shout
you,
out to Kim Tucker and Linda Farrington, because they were very helpful with helping me put this together as well. So thank you, ladies.
Yes, definitely. Kim Tucker, Renda Farrington, extraordinarily talented individuals who work hard for the artists in this community. And we'll be back to wrap up our conversation with Karen and Gretchen in just a bit. But first, we're actually going to hear music from Gretchen Elise right here on WRTI 90.1 to help take us up to the top of the hour. And then we'll drop the ID on you, and we'll continue with the conversation on the other side. Stay close.
So young and so full, set free. His arms are open wide to the sky. We're not ready. How can it be? A boy so young and so full, set free. His arms are open wide to the sky. So young and so full must die, leaving us here behind. We are not ready. We're asking why a boy so young and so full must die, leaving us here behind. We're not ready.
That, once again, is music from Ms. Gretchen Elise. Gretchen Elise with Are You Ready? That's the CD, and the composition would be the answer. He is ready. Gretchen Elise right here on WRTI 90.1. We're going to pause for station identification, and on the other side, we'll return and wrap up our conversation with Karen Smith and Gretchen Elise. Stay close, please.
Your classical and jazz station. This is member-supported WRTI 90.1 FM Philadelphia, 91.3 WRTQ Ocean City, Atlantic City, 90.7 WRTL Effort 11 in Lancaster, 91.1 WRTY Jackson Township, Mount Pocono, 91.7 WJAZ Summerdale, Harrisburg, 91.7 WRTX Dover, and 89.3 WRTJ Coatesville, a broadcast service of Temple University, also available in HD and at WRTI.org.
Before we wrap up, a couple of things. If each of you could give contact information for yourself, email, Instagram, Facebook, things like that, once again, and then we'll close up with Gretchen with we'll go Wawa again. So
Wawa. Okay.
So
Wawa with Wawa.
we're going Wawa. All right. So, but again, give contact information.
If you do have any questions, you can definitely reach me at 215-219-8769, or you can email me at WEEZTHEPEEPLE So it's Weeze the people. People have two E's instead of an O at gmail.com.
Weeze the
If you have
people.
any questions, yeah, or you want to send anything.
Okay.
As far as the questions to the mail.
And give that number once again.
215-219-8769.
Beautiful. Gretchen, for you?
I would like to say there's a one-stop shopping location where you can reach me. My name is Gretchen Elise, so you can go to GretchenElise.com, and from there you can find my phone number, my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram, you name it. That's GretchenElise.com. And before I close, can I give a shout out to the musicians who are so
Please do.
great
Please
to
do.
be gracing the stage with me.
All stars.
So I have a small kind of COVID-friendly combo in order to not have too many musicians on stage. We are going to have Ricardo Martino on drums, Anam Wheelie Aguirre on keys, Nimrod Speaks playing on bass, who himself has shared he also has been a Jazz Bridge recipient. And I need to mention, out of tremendous gratitude and respect, that Doug Grigsby was intending to be performing with me. He is, in fact, the producer of my Wawa track. But he has suffered on September 13 a massive stroke. And we are really hoping and praying that the positive energy that we create through this event will filter his way and really help towards his recovery.
Yes.
So this is definitely dedicated to him, because we do want him back, for sure.
No, well,
I
thank
think
you.
many of your listeners, all the musicians know, Philly's a town where musicians know each other. And I think he will be known to the general public as a many years, over 15 years, musical director for Tina Marie, worked with Rick James, worked with Michael Jackson. So this is a tremendous person that we're really trying to send positive energy, pray, and hope strongly for his recovery.
Yes, sending all of our best out to Doug. I mean, a phenomenal bassist, it's and co-wrote and wrote some of the stuff with Tina Marie as well.
Yep, he sure did.
And just a good person. And wow, someone had mentioned his condition to me several weeks ago, and he's. I remember having him playing in the studio here at the station with me while we were on air. With like UGO and stuff like that. So,
wow.
Sending our best out to Doug Grisby and his family for sure.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
you have a stellar lineup, Gretchen.
Definitely a stellar lineup.
Yeah, it should be a phenomenal presentation, and I applaud that as well.
And the two new tunes that I mentioned before, Doug did get a chance to kind of put his arrangement flavor into these two new tunes. One is called Come Together, and there's a politician I will not name who was very popular with many Democratic primary voters. Did not get nominated, but I recently heard that phrase after writing the tune in lots of his public statements. So I think this tune speaks to a need we have now. Mm-hmm. And actually, Tamara Anderson is going to be joining me on vocals on this tune.
Nice.
Come Together.
Beautiful.
And did you want me to finish up with the Wawa factor?
Drop the Wawa on them. Go Wawa Watson if you need to.
Wow.
Wawa. Again, you can find everything about this event on my Facebook, Gretchen Elise Music, or on my website, GretchenElise.com. And again, Doug has been the producer and the mastermind behind how I commercially focus the production of my first studio recording in almost 10 years.
Wow.
To try to pitch it to Wawa. And regardless, we know we have a fantastic song, a fantastic hook that makes people jump, wake up and jump, just gets people moving. So we will have an event on October 10th, and we are moving forward, again, dedicated to Doug, his prowess and his kindness, as well as his brilliance in all things musical. We're going to move forward this event into a Get Out the Vote event. We're online from 3 to 4 p.m. on October 10th. Commissioner Omar Sabir, the city commissioner, will appear and share lots of information about how people get their vote counted, regardless or what their political inclination is, how they get their vote counted this year. So we're going to have the video director, Hezekiah, on the line. We're going to have all the band members in the recording, and we're going to reveal the full-length video, which is a lot of fun. And you can watch the whole thing at Gretchen Elise, GretchenElise.com/Wawa.
And that's October the 10th at what time?
From 3 to 4 p.m.
Beautiful. Well, listen,
wow. That's great.
I want to take a second and thank the both of you for sharing a little time and information with the listening audience.
And thank you for saying yes, because all you do for us as well. I yet to hear you say no. You work it out. So thank you all the time for saying yes.
Well, I hit that Powerball. I may say no, Karen. I don't know. We'll see.
That's all right. I'll find you there.
I may make you robot for it. I was like, Karen,
I'll do the robot.
Karen, do the robot. And
the robot will happen. It would
Hey, Michael, you are such a creative force, and
really?
You don't just curate, you also inspire and uplift and provide opportunities for artists to grow and audiences to meet artists at different points.
Yeah,
so
I appreciate that.
Really appreciate you so much.
Yeah. I appreciate that you come out even to people's shows. That's what I appreciate even more so.
Well,
so
thank
you very much. Yeah.
Hey, since we appreciating, I appreciate the comps. So it all works out. It all works out. No, but, again, it's great chatting with the both of you.
Thank you so much.
Obviously with the current, climate and culture. We don't see each other as much as we normally would. So, it's great hearing your voices, and,
Thank you.
really, really excited to hear, just the efforts that you're making. So,
Yeah.
I applaud your efforts, and, really respect, both of you and what you've been about, and looking forward to the next time we do get to hang out in the same space.
There you go. Me too.
Yeah.
Got that right.
Fantastic. And audience members need to know these are not just events you watch. You can interact, You watch it on Facebook. You can send messages to us as we're performing.
Yes,
we'll
please
be able
do.
to actually make this interactive. I made shakers yesterday with a bunch of school-age children, including my own, that we're giving away to the first 5 people who buy, give donations to the event so they can shake at home. We got to get creative and still
Definitely
interact,
very creative, yeah.
even through the digital realm.
There you have it. Engagement. Ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for all you
Thank
do.
you, J. Michael.
Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
WRTI.
Thank you, WRTI. That's right.
That again, Karen Smith and Gretchen Elise, and they are doing beautiful things. So by all means, follow up. And again, tomorrow, a wonderful event benefiting Jazz Bridge, and the Wawa thing happens on the 10th. So again, beautiful work, Karen Smith and Gretchen Elise. We're going to continue with music, but before I do that, just a reminder that, if you enjoy what you experience here at WRTI, this is the time. Now is indeed the time, and we are indeed better together, and with your help, we can reach our goal of 20,000 members, and we're well on our way, over 18,000. And looking forward to you becoming a member here at WRTI as well. And if you are already a member, by all means, consider becoming a sustaining member. If you're not, a leadership circle member, and re-upping. Why not? The number to call, 866-809-9784. And I'll say it again. I'll say it a little slower. 866 809-9784. Of course, you can do it online as well at WRTI.org. At 12:13 and 14 seconds, the music continues right here on WRTI 90.1.